Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
And good evening, welcome in MFHL fans, specifically Winnipeg Avros and Winnipeg Ice fans, into a Tuesday night edition of MFHL Game Day here on your new home for MFHL Game Day on gshowproductions.uscreen.io. Here to broadcast this game tonight on National Truth and Reconciliation Day between the Winnipeg Avros in the home of the Winnipeg Ice here in the MFHL. I'm your host, Graham, the G Show Forsyth. We're brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Movement, Fitness, and Performance Elite Prospects, Goaltenders, and Terrico, as it is National Truth and Reconciliation Day. I would like to acknowledge that we are playing tonight, as all games in Winnipeg are played, but want to note this tonight since this is National Truth and Reconciliation Day. We are on Treaty 1 territory, also known as Treaty 1. It's the historic agreement signed between the Canadian Crown, the Anishinaabe, and the Inuit, Ojibwe, Dene, and Dakota First Nations establishing territory in Manitoba. This territory includes the city of Winnipeg and covers traditional lands. But yeah, just want to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 1 land here this evening for a game where it was sweet to see the Winnipeg Ice out in their orange uniforms in warm-up to honor the survivors and those that we have lost to residential schools and to all the atrocities that have happened to the Indigenous community. G-Show Productions stands with the Indigenous community, of course. It was also great to see the Avros showing their support, not wearing pre-game jerseys for this day, but wearing orange shirts in their dryland warm-up. So that was special to see for sure. As for this matchup tonight, everything is going to be in orange. All of our colors and stuff. Opening weekend, here's how it went. The Winnipeg Ice and the Pembina Valley Hawks were the only two teams not to end up playing in opening weekend, as the Winnipeg Ice make their way out onto the ice, as well as the Winnipeg Avros here coming up. We had a chance to broadcast Selects and Wildcats on opening night, but as for this game, it's got the makings of another classic here. The Winnipeg Ice hosting the Winnipeg Avros. Deja vu, as last year the Ice opened up their season against the Avros right here at this very same barn. And yeah, for This Winnipeg Ice team, they come off of a semifinals loss against the Winnipeg Avros last season in the postseason, while the Avros come off of a season where they were one goal shy, a goal away in overtime from winning an MFHL championship. But taking a look at both of these teams, the Avros coming in, they had a convincing 5-1 win over the Interlake Lightning on Saturday. Had all engines running, 43 shots to 17. Might have been 46 shots to 17 regardless. A clinic put on the Interlake Lightning in Stonewall. And yeah, they got some defensive scoring, a goal from Jenna Turner. Their forwards came through, and Cowan Howen ended up getting her first win in the regular season as an Avro. But are they up for the test tonight, as they'll be taking on a really good team in the Winnipeg Ice? Had the weekend off, a chance for revenge right away, as they of course fell to the Avros last year in the semifinals, which ended their championship reign, as they had back-to-back championships heading into last season. But as Eugene Kaminsky likes to say, and he said to me before, it's about focusing on the now. Last year doesn't matter. How do they put it all together? This year, we're going to switch back to this team, the Winnipeg Ice, the 2025-2026 edition, being introduced here for the first time in 2025-2026 on their home ice at the Hockey for All Center. This has been the pregame show for our third MFHL Game Day broadcast of the year on this Truth and Reconciliation Day. National Anthem coming up next. Enjoy the rest of these player introductions, everybody. Well, welcome in MFHL fans into what should be a spectacular matchup. As we've seen many times from these teams in the past, there's been many one-goal games, many close games between these two teams throughout the past few seasons alone. they've really been linked to each other in big-time moments dating back to since we've returned to play here in the MFHL since the pandemic in 2021. The Winnipeg Ice have won back-to-back championships since we've returned to play here from a life-changing pandemic that was COVID. As for the Winnipeg Avros, they were so close last year to finally winning their first outright as a franchise. These two have matched up against each other before in their opening matchups. Isn't quite the opening matchup for the Avros. It's their second game of the regular season. But as for the Ice, they had the weekend off. As mentioned in the pregame show, we are off here tonight on National Truth and Reconciliation Day from the home of the Winnipeg Ice in the MFHL, the Hockey for All Center. As this ends up starting off in the quarter, Adeline Nolgren there sends it in front of the net, trying to find Kapusta. This intercepted by Chloe Delacqui. Sent a pass ahead for Nicholas, but out of her reach as it's scooped up by Leah Clausen. Plays it up that far side, boards for Folster. Folster can't shovel it up. It's played back by Collins, trying to go D-to-D with Leah Clausen, but unable to. Clausen can't shovel this out near side, so Collins has to regroup behind the net and shovel this to safety. Back to Clausen as the Winnipeg Ice heading into this game. Of course, it's a team that may not always provide the most consistent 60 minutes, but always seems to start off strong. And consistency, something Eugene Kaminsky always preaching, always searching for in his group. What a great time to build some here tonight on opening night for this Winnipeg Ice team. As for the Avros, I think it's just about handling things as this game goes along. Know that the Ice, I feel like, as they settle in, will get better as this game progresses. You got to be ready for it. You got Adriana Almeida in net, who she knows a thing or two about stealing games, especially against this Winnipeg Ice squad, i.e. last season in the playoffs, notably Games 4 and Game 5, as Almeida covers things up here. She's a part of the starting goaltenders. So we will hopefully get to their brand coming up. This first period, though, brought to you by Ken Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Be sure to check them out today at 995 Miltsteagall Drive, which is their only store location that exists, as well as at their website at KenCentralSportsCards.com. Lavely has a player with her, but Lavely breaks through now past Texiera, but can't beat Plett. That was a nice try from number 8 in the early stages of this one, not even 2 minutes in. This off the skate of Lavely, and now back into her own end, chasing it down will be Fraser, goes off the wall. Finds Freeze. Freeze plays this up to Fraser. Now Fraser, soft pass up the middle for Nolgren. That's just out of her reach. Scooped up by Hudson. Plays it into the shin pads of Cairns, but recovered well. Cairns just sends this down low and will go after it. Cairns gets on it. Beatty ends up causes Beatty to take a penalty. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. And with that, for the first time in this matchup, it'll be the Winnipeg Ice who go onto the power play. Brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Beatty looks like she lost a bit of positioning down low against Cairns, who wins the race to the puck and establishes good puck control along the boards. Beatty ends up being a bit too physical, sending Cairns into the boards. Cairns draws a penalty. 2 minutes for boarding here as the Ice get to work on the power play. A power play unit that's been very good for Kaminsky's Winnipeg Ice throughout, well, ever since we've started covering them, as it's worked to Nicholas. Nicholas fends off a check from Nolgren. All she can do is send this in deep. So now it's held in by Hudson to Delacqui. Delacqui right back to Hudson. Hudson shot off a skate in front, rebound there, but covered up right away with a nice save by Adriana Almeida. Adriana Almeida, for the returnees at least on this Winnipeg Ice team, must give them, well, it might be an over-exaggeration, playing it up a bit for the dramatics, but quite frankly, given this Winnipeg Ice team nightmares in the playoffs in their semifinal series last season as it went along, she truly did steal Game 4 and game number 5, you could very well make an argument for that. Over 40 shots against in both games. It didn't allow more than 1 goal in game number 4 and no more than 2 in game number 5 of that series. As the Ice work it in here with 54 seconds left. That shot looking to go backdoor instead, actually, was an Ice defenseman in Symes. Now it's played up to another defenseman in Ota. Plays this back to Jones. Jones across into the skates of Symes. Up top. Ota off the boards. Rebound there. It's in front and they score. It's the Ice who take advantage of the bounces in the Avro zone. A shot that I believe gets deflected just off the mark. Ends up being a fortunate bounce for the Ice that ends up back near the crease of Almeida. And as for this Winnipeg Ice team, hungry in front for the puck, swarming the front of the net and being able to capitalize. Took a few attempts, but into the back of the Avros net as the Ice break the ice here in their opening game of this 2025-2026 regular season. We'll get the goal announcement in just a moment here as it's played into the middle, but cut off right away by Leah Clausen. Clausen plays this in deep into the Ice zone. So it's back for Texiera. So Callie Adams, rookie, gets on the board for her first marker of not only this season, but of her MFHL career. Congratulations to Callie. AP'd a bit for the Avros last season. He goes over to the Ice this year as Wozni stops up at neutral ice, trying to fend off number 21 in Seawalk. Apologies. As Seawalk has the puck, but gets closed in on right away by Delacque. This play towards the net to Nicholas as Nicholas' shot ends up just wide of the net occupied by Almeida. Is this unable to be held in by Hudson? So an offside called on the play. As the Winnipeg Avros still searching for their first shot and searching for a way to get back even on the scoreboard here, as the Ice have come out strong. But it can only, of course, get better for the Avros from here. That's what I'm sure Ashley Van Egelen, I'm not sure if she's preaching that exactly because I can't hear her on the bench, but I'm sure that's the mindset she's having. Just into this hockey game, just over 5 minutes in. It was a penalty that I feel like maybe could have been avoided. This team just settling their nerves as this one transgresses or transpires. And, you know, an Avros team who has proven before to get better as games go along, so we'll see what type of response this period goes along, what type of response that will get from them as the Winnipeg Ice. We know what their plan's going to be. Eugene Kaminsky, I'm sure, urging them to keep going. Push to extend this lead as Jenna Turner looking to go for a skate. Gets robbed out a bit near the blue line by Symes, and icing called on the play as well. We'll bring face-off draw back into the Avro zone. As Adeline Nolgren squares up to take the draw against Talia Jones. It's Jenna Turner without a net guard, so she gets sent off. One of the head referees grabs her net guard. On for the Avros, I believe it's Folster. Out there with Hancher, Kapustin to take the draw, lost that to Talia Jones. As the Ice get this down low, Robbins wins the battle along the boards, trying to spin away from Beatty. This time no call on number 4 as both go down in a bit of a heap. So this gets played back into neutral ice as Sophia Ota played that to Callie Adams. Had that turned away. Lavely had that knocked off her stick. It's back into the Avro zone for Hatcher off the stick of Kapusta. Lavely into forecheck Symes. D the ice go. This is played far side, but intercepted by the Avros. Claire Hancher just past the red line, sends that in deep. Goes off for a change. It's on the forecheck. First one, number 7, Lexington Green down low, trying to go to work. Lavely out there with Freeze. It's near side. In the ice end, Symes tries to play that to Ota, but Ota can't cradle it for a shot on net for the Avros. As that came from number 8 in Lavely, passed through the middle, tipped in to the Avro zone by Chablik, as Beatty first one to get on it for the Vros. Pass up the far side, turned over, but the Avros turn it into their possession now. It's Lavely. How's a girl with her in Green? Lavely drops this back for Green, but drop pass off the mark. It's into number 7 skates. As the ice send this all the way down. Chablik was given chase, cutting this off in the middle now. Number 11 in Temple. Sits back to Texiera, being hounded on the forecheck there by Seawalk. Forces a turnover. Seawalk has possession to Dinez. Dinez tries sending that out in front. Now Seawalk has a handle on it for a moment, but it gets turned to the corner. Temple, that intercepted. Nice play by Robin Clausen. Down the near side on our broadcast angle, ended up turning it over down low. Ran out of runway was number 14 as that gets played below the goal line now to Seawalk for the Avros. Picking her pocket was Texiera. Tries to rim this out, but a nice job by the Avros cutting that off. Pass in the slot, misses. Goes off of the stick to help Collins keep that in as she sends that back down low. So the Avros here settling into their cycle, but unable to get any shots on net as of right now. In this sequence, taken away by Walker, but back up for the Avros and for your second shot on net. It's Seawalk who puts it in. And as for the Avros, they tie this contest at 1. And a great play at first by Walker in front. Took away a pass, headed towards the slot, but the Avros with numbers able to get the puck back. Gets into the slot for Seawalk. As Seawalk puts it past Plett. Not the hardest shot, but an accurate one in backhand. Top right corner. Top glove hand side, I guess, on Plett. Which backhand, most goalies would say hardest shot to read out there. So a great play by Seawalk. Gets this game back to even. Not even halfway through the period as the Avros looking to capitalize again. Nice play by Plett. As she plays that into the corner, but the Avros hold this in. All the momentum right now and looking to build even more of it. The heels of that goal as Lavely, along with Hancher along the wall, going to battle. It's sent down low. Kapusta giving chase. Delaquie couldn't get past number 9. Now the ice get into some quiet ice. A bit of time to work this out as it's sent close side. But turned over, sent all the way back in by the Avros. Pled out to play that, leaves that for Hudson. Hudson up the wall. She slides this up to Robbins. Robbins pass up the middle. Beatty blew a tire, Chavlik shot turned aside by Almeida. As for this Avros team, avoiding what was an unfortunate breakdown for them, beating, losing an edge at center ice. We tried to just get back in the swings of things ourselves, calling this game. This is, I guess, only our second regular season broadcast of the year. This all the way down for an icing, but beat out by Carvalho. Carvalho tries to find Chablik high slot, but That pass cut off well by Robin Clausen. Ota, her shot, misses the net wide. It'll be Beatty who will intercept this down low, but ends up turning it all over. It'll be to Chablik. Chablik, short pass to the back door for Cairns, turned aside. Nice defensive play by the Avros as Seawalk tries to get on her horse and chase this down. It'll be Ota who gets to it first. Tried to play it to Carvalho, but that turned over along the wall. Seawalk in to join the battle as Dinez pinned up along the wall. Now Nolgren gets bumped off her line a bit. Almost fed into the boards. Now Seawalk goes into the boards. Softly there, Ota able to come out with this puck in the puck battle. But her teammate down low, Symes, gets pinned up. In for help, it was Cairns. Got this up to Carvalho, who sends it up into the neutral zone for Chablik. Loses a handle on this. It's turned over. Lost this to Nolgren. Nolgren somehow gets this back to Collins. She lost her balance. Knocked down there by an ice player. Now Kapusta works this back up to the point to Collins. Collins fans on that. Almost swooped out. Sticked out by the stick of Temple. Unable to get it out was Temple there. Now passes it up to Nicholas, who gets taken out there by Collins along the boards. No penalty from the referee as Robbins scoops up this loose puck. Robbins wraparound chance, but Almeida right there to stop it. Trying to search for it was number 35, but puck remains out. It's scooped up by Clausen as she clears the zone. Not only that, gets past the red line and sends this in deep. Clausen trying to get to it, but Texiera, the ice captain, there first as the ice up the left side near boards. Unable to do much with it as it's played back down low into the ice end, but the ice, a quick transition out. Down the near side, puck over the stick of Wasowski, sent right back into the ice zone by the Avros. Diddy detects Sierra, nice move to the middle, but can't get past Lavalley. Ends up to Robbins, who sends this down low. Gives chase, Turner first one on it for the Avros. Nice move using the boards to protect the puck was Turner, but that pass can't connect with Freeze. Sent down low, it's to Robbins. Shields this into the low slot, turning that aside. In tight was Almeida. Denying number 7 and Adams was searching for her second already of this game. Of course, opened up the scoring just over 5 minutes in. The Ice would sure love to get that 1-goal lead back late in this period. We'll have to wait for now as this turned over, taken away by Freeze just before the blue line, sent deep into the ice zone. As the Avros try to establish offensive zone time once again. Lexington Green pinned up along the boards, got down low. Clausen able to win on the forecheck as the ice worked it away from her. Now into the middle of the ice zone. They kick it out to the left in the neutral zone. Robbins just past the red line sends this in deep. Ice looking to change all bodies right now. Gives the Avros some time to work this out on a breakout opportunity. So it gets to neutral ice. Clausen quickly up to Seawalk, but that just gets past number 21. She goes to battle now with Ota down low. Ota takes down Seawalk. Allows for Cairns to scoop up this puck. Cairns backhand pass to Carvalho. Cross ice in the neutral zone. Carvalho goes one-on-one with Fraser. Sends that down deep. Beatty first one on it as she beat both Carvalho and Cairns to the puck. But not cleared out yet for the Avros, as the Ice just elect to send this down deep again. An Ice player taken out along the boards. No penalty there. This is that. Beatty again in the battle. She's been all over the physical play here early on for the Avros. Almost the first 15 minutes of this period. Shot 6-2 in favor of the Ice. It is, of course, a tie game, as Texiera feeds this to Cairns. Nice cutback move from number 12 before sending that in deep past the red line as Temple gets to this puck first. Keeps possession of it by getting back to the point to Texiera. Texiera back to Temple, tries to make a move past Clausen. She stuck with her pretty well. Forced a turnover as the Avros get this back off the boards all the way down. Looks like it should be an icing as Kapusta tried to beat it out, but not quite fast enough. As 4:57 remains in this period, you've been watching MFHL Game Day on your home for MFHL Game Day on gshowproductions.uscreen.io. We're going to see what we can do about the scoreboard during the first intermission to make it a bit smaller. Don't like how much of the screen it's taken up right now. As for the Avros, breaking in down the near side, Kapusta shot over the shoulder of Gina Plett. It's number 9 looking to be maybe a bit too fine there on that shot. So her sight's just a bit off. Hudson has her sights on Wozniacki with that pass, but she had her pocket pick. Kapuska wheels to the right face-off circle, tried to pick the top right corner, but missed the net instead against Plett. As the Avros send that down. As a whistle blown. I'm not quite sure what for. Seemingly the net was just off. So that warrants a stoppage in play. As they tie up on the face-off draw. So the Ice able to win possession of it. Callie Adams down the right side, sent in, but another whistle to stop play here. I guess that puck ended up going out of play. For the Adams dumping. Confused as to what these calls are right now, to be honest with you. As the Avros win that draw cleanly, it's D to Claire Hancher. Hancher up the middle, but into the skates of Lexington Green. Recovered it well and just sends it in deep in the neutral zone. The first one on it, Freeze in the corner. Going up against Ota. Number 8 in Lavely also in to help. As Freeze has that taken away by Ota, who got it into the direction of Symes. Now into the near corner in the ice zone. At the hash marks, Robbins places the safety down low to Symes, who Symes get past one Avro, trying to get past another, and Lavely does just that. With a bit of strength at that as she sent a pass just off the mark to Adams in the neutral ice. Avros changing all bodies. Ice trying to catch them off guard, but unable to, as that pass too far off the boards intended for Robbins. Robbins down low battling along with Cairns on the near side, while the Avros work it far side in their own end. Stenez tried to send that in deep, but forgot the puck as she fanned on it just before the blue line. As we approach under 3 minutes left in this period, as it's gone along, started off as mostly offensive zone time for the Ice. The Avros have worked some more offensive zone time into the mix. Both teams have scored. We're at a tie game, of course, as you can see on this National Truth and Reconciliation Day, as the Ice able to work this out successfully. Cross ice feed to Chablik. Chablik into the high slot for Carvalho, but covered up well there by Fraser. Lost puck in the corner by an Avro in Beatty. Now pinned up along the boards by Chablik. Carvalho also in there to help, along with what it looks like another Avro. A third comes in, and that's Robin Clausen, who has some room to roam in the neutral ice just before the blue line. She sent that in deep. Goes off for a change. Avros getting fresh legs out. It's a fresh leg. Pressured Wozniacki, but she made it pass with ease. Pass number 9 in Kapusta. Now down low into the Avro zone. Wozniacki protects out wide. Now sends it up top to Hudson. Delacqui, that's a tip in the slot, but wide of the net it went. The Ice couldn't redirect it towards the net there. As it's into the far corner in the Avros end. Nicholas going to battle along with the Avros captain Nolgren. It's played to Kapusta. She gets cut off by Delacqui. Held in at the point now by Wozniacki. Sends this out of the net to Nicholas. Tic-tac-toe! Not able to get that to Temple. As that pass just doesn't connect. That shot there. Rebound, Temple trying to get her stick loose. Unable to. Almeida covers up. And you gotta think, if Temple's able to get her stick free, do we see a go-ahead goal with a minute 15 remaining in this period? The Ice all around the Avros net, as we've seen many times before in this period, gives us a stoppage. With the face-off draw inside the Avros end, with just over a minute remaining in this opening frame, So the Avros looked like they won the draw initially, but the Ice able to send it back down low. So we approach the final minute of play in this first period of action. So the Ice trying to work it to the point free. They do. It's to Ota, trying to use the bodies as a screen. Well, she does, but meets the glove of Almeida. It's number 35 smothers that up. 56.9 seconds on the clock here in the first. Jones against Lavalley on the draw. Jones won that towards the boards. Now Robinson Turner go to battle. Far side in the Avro zone. As Freeze tries to lift this past Jones up the wall, but unable to. Jones skates this down low, but harassed by two Avros. Lavalley able to come away with it successfully as her short pass connects up to Green. Green cross-ice feed to Freeze as Freeze backtracks and sends this back into her own end to Hancher. Hancher to Fraser. Fraser tries to locate Freeze as she had her stick lifted just near the ice blue line. As Ota down low. Trying to shield this, tries to reverse it, but instead it'll be cut off by Lavalley. Gets possession of this up to the point as that's Beatty. Has her shot blocked. It gets to Fraser. She fans on that attempt as now Texiera looks to make some magic of her own happen here with under 6 seconds remaining in this period. Ridden out on the boards by Green. Maybe one more chance for the Ice, but that pass unable to stay in the Avros end, and with that, we go into the first intermission, tied at 1 apiece. As for both of these teams, they'll be looking to come out strong coming up in the next 20 minutes of action. This first period was brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. We're going to be back here soon during this first intermission to break down this first period, go over the keys of the game and how it suited these two teams throughout those first 20 minutes. And yeah, just talking about the upcoming second period as a whole, what's happening around the league, heading into week number 2, and much more on MFHL Game Day on your home for MFHL Game Day on gshowproductions.uscreen.io. On National Truth and Reconciliation Day, acknowledging that, of course, we are playing this beautiful game tonight, as we always do here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and anywhere in Manitoba on Treaty 1 territory. We'll be back after a few moments here during this intermission.
Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
Welcome back into the Hockey for All Center on the PCL Construction Arena, the main arena here, as recently, I believe, near the start of this month, it was Jets Fest here, as sights were crazy there. Sights pretty good on this opening night of the regular season for the Winnipeg Ice. Of course, the Winnipeg Avros have already played a game heading into this weekend, or this final game of week one. As we take a look back at opening weekend, saw a really close game to open things up. The first game slated this season between Central Plains and Yellowhead. Central Plains came away with a 3-2 victory in the shootout in a game that we called the Eastman Selects against the Westman Wildcats. The Selects opening up their title defense the right way with a 4-1 victory. And of course, the Winnipeg Avros, the dominant 5-0 victory on Saturday night down in Stonewall against the Interlake Lightning. 2 shutouts on Sunday. Unfortunately, we were unable to stream Wildcats and Capitals, as that was the plan, but unfortunately, a situation to stream in that rink, not ideal at all. But as for the upcoming week of action here in the MFHL, we're going to have coverage for you on Saturday. But we're going to get going again on Friday night with 2 matchups. The Avros, their home opener in Seven Oaks Arena against the Westman Wildcats. Central Plains, they'll be at home to take on the Pembina Valley Hawks. Loaded slate of games on Saturday, as there's going to be 3 games in total. I guess not completely loaded, as that would be 4 games in total, but it's going to be the Selects and Lightning. We're going to have Avros and Hawks on our network on Saturday from Seven Oaks Arena at 4:15 p.m. and then the Yellowhead Chiefs take on the Winnipeg Ice. Sunday, the Ice are in Hartney to take on the Westman Wildcats. The Pembina Valley Hawks at home in Morden to take on the Interlake Lightning, and the Central Plains Capitals at home to take on the Eastman Selects. The Avros and the Chiefs getting the day off on Sunday. So that'll wrap up week number 2. But we wrap up week number 1 here tonight as the Winnipeg Ice, first team to come out onto the ice for this period. The Avros will follow. As for the Ice, they ended up capitalizing on their first power play of the game, courtesy of Callie Adams to put them up. And then, as for the Winnipeg Avros, they would answer back later on in the period with a goal of their own. And it would be the first career goal. One in, I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. But we'll update you on who that goal scorer was here soon, shortly. We've also made a change to our scoreboard for this upcoming period. So we're heading into the second, which will be brought to you by movement, fitness, and performance as well as elite prospects. So we get everything sorted out here. We should be able to see more of the play this time around in this period. But shots were 10-2 in favor of the Winnipeg Ice. Thought they started off with a stronger first half in that period, but the Avros, once they started to get on the cycle, got on their forecheck, they started to control the puck more and gave themselves better opportunities. How can you get more shots, though? You're only at 2 so far. We'll see how this Avros team fares. It was Sewak who ends up opening the scoring for this Avros team, actually, the rookie. Scoring her first in the MFHL, first in an Avros jersey. We got 2 rookies scoring tonight as an AP last season for the Avros, and Callie Adams now on the ice. She made that Winnipeg team this year. Got us rolling on the power play in that first, but at the end of the day, we're still at a 1-1 tie, and I cannot wait to see who's able to break it next. It'll be Talia Jones to take the draw against Adeline Nolgren. Win by Jones. This is played back to Ota. Ota cross ice to Symes. Symes, her shot turned aside there by Almeida. Looked like she saw it all the way. Jones has this knocked off her back end. The Ice still maintain possession as Adams pass up the wall. Can't get back to Symes. The Avros now control deeper in their own end as Collins pressured right away by Robbins. This gets to Adeline Nolgren. Fanned on that pass, but it still got to Kapusta. She protects this down low and plays it off the boards. Up to Folster. Folster's pass back to Kapusta. Couldn't make it to number 9 as the Ice still holding the zone. Trying to keep this down low to get a cycle going to maintain it, but the Avros, they're going to be able to beat it for now. Getting this out. So they're able to withstand the first wave of ice pressure in this period. Kabusta tries to make a skill move past Symes, but Symes shut her down right away. Symes taken down, no call on the play. That's the right call by the refs. No penalty warranted there, even though Symes lost her edge. Cairns down the near side now. Goes around the net to the far side in the Avro zone. Up to Walker, that shot wide of the net. She was trying to locate. Low glove side on Alameda. Freeze forces a turnover near the blue line in the Avro zone. Able to send this on net on Plett. Back in the ice zone as Walker plays it to a teammate as the Ice quickly transition out. Chablik down the near side sends this in deep as she was cut off by Turner. Ends up bouncing into Alameda's glove. Number 35 will just cover this up. Getting a stoppage with 17:43 remaining. Swazasensky takes the draw against Lavalley. The Ice end up possessing this. Nicholas, her shot can't get through. Bouncing in the high slot. This ends up off the backboards again and back to Alameda. I think for Kaminsky, well, the Kaminskys and Co on the bench, they got to be really happy with the start to this period. Really no offensive zone time created for the Avros as of yet. It's been all offensive zone time really for the Ice so far in this period. They're doing a really good job of shutting down that pass. Cross ice up the middle. Freeze looking to create some magic as she tries to slide this past Walker, but Walker denies that with the skate. As Freeze tried to get something going. Nice forecheck along the boards by Lavalley. Is this where the Avros start to come to life? Walker has other plans. Tried to play this out up the boards. She gets it back after turning it over. As now it's sprung up onto the stick of Wazasensky. Nice job by Nicholas to hold the line. Tried to feed it through to Temple, but unable to get it there to number 11. As the Avros able to break out the other way. Far side. Clausen from a sharp angle. Rebound there given up by Plett. Sewak looking for number 2. Slides that through the slot. It ends up to the point to Beatty. Cross feed to Fraser as Fraser played that down low to Sewak. But right ready to take it away. The big Ice player in Delaquie ends up back to the point to Clausen. Dangerous shot there. Sewak is in front. Looking for a tip As Fraser circles back in her own end to take Jones off her trail. So Jones in on the forecheck now on Robin Clausen. It's back to Fraser. Fraser, nice job getting that up to Seawalk. Taking a hit to make a play as Seawalk as she sent that pass just out of the reach of Dinaz cross ice. Back down low in the Avros end. Now quickly played D-to-D. Beatty fans on that shot and gets stood up there by Jones as well. Down low, Ozdasensky forces a turnover. Adams tries saucering this up to the point, but too much for Symes to handle as she has to retreat back quickly to get it. Seawalk, heck of a forecheck as she picks the pocket of Symes and controls this down low. Heck of a job by number 21 who gets this free to Nolgren. Nolgren protecting this on the outside, plays it up to the point, but that pass can't be held in by Collins. No choice but to regroup at center ice and send that back into the ice end. There's now a turnover near the ice blue line. Delayed offside for the Avros side as Nolgren doesn't get the message, and that'll cost her team, I think. Yes, offside called, even though Nolgren doesn't even end up touching it there. The ref has had enough. No, we're just going to have the face-off draw outside. Or will we? No, it's going to be right outside the Avros end. We got some spectators trying to listen in to what we're calling here right now, trying to see what the verdict was on that play. Always appreciate people being curious about what we do in the rinks. The parents, the fans make the experience that much more memorable with their cheers and celebrations and their support of these teams. And quite a full house here for the Ice's season opener and home opener. As nice job by Kapusta, active stick at the right face-off circle in the ice zone to take that away up top to Collins, who has that shot blocked. Gets to Cairns as Cairns sends that off the boards. So it's all the way back down to the Avros end. So Nyson will be called. But the trend in this game so far has been the Winnipeg Ice starting off with the stronger period. The Avros working their way within. So we get the period going some more. So we see here Turner, her shot off of a body just deflected wide. This into the slot for Lexington Green is Lavely with a great pass. It's number 8 found number 7. Those will be sent in by Chavlik. So the Ice just able to survive that. As they look to hem the Avros in their own end again. To get some offensive momentum working their way once again. As number 3 in Hansher in the corner played out into the skates of Lexington Green as herself and Lavely battle with a few Ice players. The Ice victorious in this puck battle on the far side. Now to the near side for Texiera at the point. Lost an edge as this ends up towards the Avros net again. Wazasensky with strength protecting this puck. Just gets it back to the point. Number 19 in Delacqui will send it back down low. Temple pinned up a girl who allowed this puck to get to Nicholas. Tripped up, no call. Texiera point pass. D-to-D to Delacqui. That ended up back in the low slot. Nicholas couldn't fire that as it was blocked. As this ends up out of play. So we'll get a stoppage with 13-12 remaining. And with that, we'll take some time to get to our keys to the game. We didn't have a chance to get to that. But for the Avros, you come in with a big 5-0 win. You got to remember that it's a new day, a new opponent. May not be that easy as we've seen so far. Be smart on your own end. For the most part, they have been. And trust within yourselves, right? Even if you are getting hemmed in, as we've seen at points, been able to survive that. Trust that you'll have the offensive game to generate good chances the other way when that moment arises. We've seen exactly that in this game for this Avro side. As that shot from number 4, Symes at the point will be blocked up by Robin Clausen up the board. She sends Seawalk with the pass, but Seawalk can't dance her way past Ota. Continues strong on the forecheck, though, as she remained with Symes. Symes took a bump before sending that to Ota. Down low, Adams now knocked down, but the Ice still able to get it out. Near side, Robbins off the boards. Sent it down deep. First one on it would be Fraser for the Avros. This turned over up the middle now. Chablik trying to dipsy doodle her way towards the net, but shut down there by Fraser. Chablik back on it. Far corner in the Avros end. Puck ends up to the point for Texiera. Chablik whacked away at it. Fraser almost sending Chablik on top of Almeida. It's a great pass there from Chablik. Somehow finds Texiera at the point. Not the quality I'm sure number 2 is looking for on that. But as we switch to the ice, I feel like they've done more than settle into periods. They've taken it by storm. They've done a nice job for the most part in taking away the transition game for the Avros. And finding a way to almost finish there was Carvalho, but early on, finding a way to finish on the power play, a much-needed goal to open things up by rookie Callie Adams. Got things rolling in the right direction here for the Winnipeg Ice. But a point that we didn't put on is consistency. How consistent does this Ice team stay throughout these 60 minutes? We're almost 30 minutes into this one. Tie game so far, shots 13-5 in favor of the home side. In the ice in this all-Winnipeg matchup is Hallie Chablik. Tried to go off the boards D to Texiera, but instead turned over up to the point. Clausen shot turned aside by that right pad of Gina Plett. It's been tested a bit more during this second period. So sent all the way back down into the Avros zone. Carvalho first on it, gets it to Chablik. What a move by Chablik, but denied. High blocker side by Almeida. We play on. Tied at 1 apiece. Chablik going to be a big-time player for this Winnipeg Ice squad in 2025-2026. That pass will be denied by Delacqui as Freeze tried to locate a teammate far up the neutral zone. Temple takes this away into the low slot, and that shot just off the mark by number 6 there in Nicholas. Up to the point, Hudson, her shot tipped but denied by Almeida. On the way towards the Avros goaltender. Avros crowd calling for a hand pass on Hudson. Refs wave that off. Hudson got it down low to Nicholas. Around the net she goes, far side to the point to Symes. Symes right back to Nicholas. Nice cut-in move by Nicholas. Dishes it off to Ota. That shot denied by Almeida. She smothers it up. Tracked it all the way was number 35. So with 10:09 remaining, face-off draw. We did the glove hand side of Almeida, the near side of our broadcast angle. Linesman seen something she didn't like. We're all good now, we're back to play. As Ota and Freeze along the boards, battling this, eventually gets out for the Avros. As Freeze blew a trier, Jones right back in. Her shot low denied by Almeida. As the Ice able to keep this down low. Now up to the point to Symes. Symes, a bit of a mispass there to Ota, but Ota able to send it down low. Allows for this Ice team to at least have a chance to get it back on the forecheck. A few Avros down low. This is Clausen who gets possession of it. She puts on the brakes before sending it to Lexington Green. Greenhouse her pocket picked. So the Ice sent it right back down deep. Turner quickly up to Freeze. Breaking in on her quickly was Texiera. She closed the gap right away. Forced a turnover. Now back down into the Ice end. Looking to start a breakout. Cairns, nice awareness, hesitation. Now gets this over to Chablik. Chablik, drop pass to Texiera. Back to Chablik, but can't find a handle on that pass. Couldn't cradle it in. So the shot, not meant to be for this Ice team, but great puck movement. Seeing a pass-first mentality from the Ice. Nice pass up to Kapusta, who can't cut past Walker. Walker shut her down well as the Ice quickly back into the Avros zone. Cairns lost that, got to Chablik. Had that knocked off her stick by Dinez. The Ice established possession down low as Cairns pinned up by an Avro. Allow for this to get to Kapusta. Kapusta off the boards, not quite out as Texiera held the line well. Texiera Gets this free to Chablik. Chablik tries going backdoor with that feed, but off the mark for Wazdesensky. The Ice looking for a bit of finish here. Just talking about, oh, what a move by Kapusta. Dancing into the ice zone near their net. Tries to send that across. Nice defensive play by the hand of Nicholas to knock that down. As we haven't had a stoppage in quite a while here. Won't get one anytime soon. Or at least for the time being, as no icing call on the play. It was tipped in. The Avros looking for a way to solve this maze, which is the ice forecheck. Was really strong to start off this period. It's heated up recently. As finally we got a stoppage in play as that puck got sent out of play. 18-6 the shots in favor of the Ice. We're still at one apiece. Draw inside the Avro zone, won by Wazdesensky near side. Hudson out the point, tries feeding that through. Great block by Folster with an active stick. As Folster battles along the wall still. Skate this down low, cut off by Temple. Nicholas in to help on the forecheck. As the Ice aggressive on the Avros D. Turner coughs this up. That pass to the slot off the mark for the Ice. No one there to receive it. Intended target was Nicholas. She heads towards the net now. It's Hudson at the point who goes D to D to Delacqui. That shot can't be fed through, but Delacqui will get it right back. And now to Hudson. Hudson will send this through. Tipped on net by Nicholas. Nicholas sends it back out in front into the slot. Robin's a bit too slow getting there. She just came on. Some fresh legs for this Ice team. As the Avros now break into the ice zone, Lavalley trying to locate Robin Clausen in the slot with that pass, but unable to find 14. Does the pass and get through. It's up to Callie Adams, trying to go one-on-one with Beatty. Nice defensive stick there by number 4, knocking that away. Robbins tries to get past Beatty, but the same answer. Access denied from number 4. This ends up first out in the Avro zone now. So it'll be settled down by Fraser. Fraser to an outlet girl and Robin Clausen. Clausen can't quite get that out. As it's sent back down low into the Avro zone by the Ice. Freeze through the middle to Kapusta. Nice job recovering this puck. Number 9. She sends that down deep. Goes to chase it down on the forecheck. The Ice beat that with a quick breakout pass up. Cairns tries to maneuver away past Fraser and just does down the far side on that wall. That pass towards the slot, unable to get through. Shot from the point does get through to the net as it's covered up by Almeida. So we have 5:27 remaining in this period of action. Been a period where the refs have let these teams play, and I only laugh because I feel like I might have just cursed one of these teams. It's just talked about the Ice, how they got some finish from Callie Adams in the first period. Well, many chances here throughout this second and haven't been able to pull the trigger to get into the back of the net. And as for the Avros, be looking to take advantage of opportunity here in this period, in the second frame, as Lavalley takes it around the net, tries to spin and fire that on Gina Plett, but goes wide instead of the target. A nice attempt there from number 8. So it's a good end-to-end rush. Leah Clausen knocked off the puck down low. To the point for Texier as that pass got to her. She's denied by Almeida. Save made by number 35. So we'll see another face-off draw to a familiar spot tonight. Close side to our broadcast angle in the Avro zone. As it's Hudson who sends this down low for Nicholas. Lost it, but it gets to Temple. Temple's short pass attempt to Wazdesensky. Didn't get there. Wazdesensky back on it along the wall, far side in the Avro zone. Just above the net line, Wazdesensky gets it back, makes her way towards the net, unloads, fires wide. It's number 8 is trying to feed that through. Make Almeida make a save. Delacqui Didn't even have a chance as that's blocked up by either Seawalk or Collins. Temple has that knocked off her stick as she tried to make a power move towards the net. The Avros deflect this off the glass. Gets out back in the neutral zone, but the Ice take it away. Here they go again. High shot in the Avro zone there for Temple this time as it's turned aside by Almeida. Squeezes that. As we'll go opposite side with the face-off draw this time around. Far side from our broadcast angle in the Avro zone to Almeida's blocker side. Kapusta for the Avros in the face-off circle. Jones for the Ice. One by Jones. Up to Symes. Symes gets it right back. That shot turned aside. Rebound in the slot, but Jones can't get it through. A nice block by an Avro. A great defense in front of their goaltender there. Estinez played it in initially. Puck ended up out of play. So we'll get a face-off inside the ice zone. And you got to wonder how Gina Plett is feeling right now. In fact, the first shot of the game from the Avros beat her. Hasn't seen nearly as much action as Almeida tonight. It's because of plays like that just this Ice team, the defense has been outstanding for the most part in this one, except for the breakdown on their only goal that they gave up. Almeida covers things up here. 3:33 remaining in the second. But yeah, doing a really good job of just taking away the middle of the ice, the dangerous parts in the dangerous zones in the ice, and when they're defending against the Avros, they haven't had answers on being able to break through. Any moves they've made on the rush too, they've had a tough time getting past the ice defense. And you gotta wonder if this Avros team is gonna start to try to get to not only more of a dump and chase game, trying to hunt pucks down, they have a chance to get it out. So we see a dump out there. Don't think it'll be strong enough for an Ice, and as Plett touches it up. As what a play from Kapusta, forces this turnover, this time on a backhand chance. Plett is up to the task. So what an effort from Kapusta. And yeah, I would say honestly, more dump and chase from this Avros team, why not? You got players like Lavalley, like Kapusta, who have shown plenty of times tonight that they're able to win single-handedly on the forecheck. It's about then, how do you start to get to the ice net more, break into the most dangerous areas of their zone, see how much traffic Van Aglen starts to direct her team to put in front of the net as that shot tipped, scores! It's number 11 in Temple for this Winnipeg Ice squad. Puts herself in a great spot to deflect that in the slot. Amazing that gets through a few bodies too. Almeida hoping that she was able to keep it out, but I believe it just sneaks past her 5-hole and through. And with that, the Ice, for the second time tonight, they lead. So that goal brought to you by Elite Prospects, the most informative hockey player database on the internet today. Be sure to check them out at eliteprospects.com. As Marin Temple, who finally puts this Ice team ahead after a period that's mostly been theirs. They've upped their shot amount about 16 this period. They have 26 in total. As that blockered into the far side corner in the Avro zone. As Callie Lavalley tries to feed this up the middle of the ice, but turned over instead. As it'll be Adams, loses an edge. Now gets this puck back as a pass ended up in her skates. Hudson tries to get that through, but Dinez with a great spirited effort there to block it with her stick. Dinez now has possession of it, past the red line, sends that in. Goes off for a change. So what a great transition out for this Winnipeg Ice team. Quickly up. So it gets to Callie Adams. Adams forced to stop up. What's that? Cross ice to Hudson. Hudson, her shot high of the net as it rose up on Adriana Almeida over her glove. It's near side. Robbins looking to take that away from Turner as we're into the final minute of play of the second period. The Ice continuing to pressure that almost through. Almeida trying to find it. Trouble doing so, but the Avros able to clear it away. Box up well in front of her as that stretch pass into the neutral zone be sent right back in by Hudson after she intercepted it. That clear out attempt by this Avros squad. So they look to just survive this remaining 30 seconds of this second period right now. You hate to go down by another goal. Maybe even looking to notch things up once again. Is Folster near boards, battling along with Kapusta. The Ice able to get a handle on it back as it's whipped far side by Texiera to Carvalho. Carvalho tries sending it back to the slot, but closed off well by the Avros. Robin Clausen, she looked to make some late period heroics happen, but Hallie Chablik steady in her own end. Great 200-foot play there by number 15. She denied Clausen from being able to get to the net, and with that, allows for this Winnipeg Ice team to go in to the third and final period of regulation up by 1. Yeah. Thought that the Ice really flexed their muscle during that period. Gina Plett was strong when she had to be. Still, difficult to try to get into the game when you've only faced 7 shots throughout 40 minutes, but I saw that first shot fooling her in the first period. It's been a really solid performance from number 30 in limited quantity against her so far. As for the Winnipeg Ice, they just kept working away at that Avros D zone, kept forcing turnovers in the neutral zone and denying the Avros clean entry into their own end, and got their cycle going, shots from the points, a lot of tips during that period. Almeida was pretty darn good on all of them except for one. Couldn't quite stop the tip. It got through some traffic, through some bodies to beat her past the 5-hole from the rookie in Marin Temple. As the second period was brought to you by Elite Prospects as well as Movement Fitness and Performance. Next period will be brought to you by Terrico, as well as goaltenders perhaps if we can get them on the screen. But thank you so much to them for supporting our Female Hockey League coverage. And thank you to you, Winnipeg hockey fans, MFHL fans, and anyone else that's watching this one. Are we set to see another classic ending in this great rivalry? Well, we'll find out coming up next. We'll find out coming up next in this upcoming third period of action. For now, we'll send it to a promo screen. I'll be back shortly here from the Hockey for All Center on National Truth and Reconciliation Day. On your home for MFHL hockey on MFHL Game Day on gshowproductions.uscreen.io. And welcome back into the Hockey for All Center. We're getting set here for the upcoming period of action, the third period of action between the home side and the Winnipeg Ice and their home and season opener, as they did not play any games through opening weekend, going up against a team that came into this matchup 1-0 in the Winnipeg Avros, who are not only down by the scoreboard by 2-1 right now, but haven't had a lead in this game, and really, yes, a period with more shots for them as they had 5 compared to the 2 they had in the first. But being outshot 28-7, and the Ice really did cause a lot of fits for this Avros team, hem them in their own end for most of that period. And when we look back to the keys to the game, like for this Ice squad, taking away transition, they've done a nice job of that as this game has gone along. They've settled in nicely and finally finishing on the many chances they had that past period, as it was Marion Temple who ends up putting it home, tipping it home, fooling Adriana Almeida to give her Ice the lead back again. But since it's Truth and Reconciliation Day, National Truth and Reconciliation Day, I thought that I'd shout out Team Manitoba's National Aboriginal Hockey Championship squad, who ended up taking home the gold medal last year. I believe it's the first time that it's happened at that event for the female Manitoba program. And the reason I bring this up is because they were loaded with MFHL talent, both current and former players, as players like Rio Pierre and Rhys Schutte, who are now playing in Ontario's U22 league, played in the MFHL last year, and for Schutte a few years before, her third year last year, and it was Rio's second year, but they were part of that team. Pembina Valley Hawks alumni and Jessica Anderson was, Central Plains Capitals alumni and Alana Cipriano, Ireland Timchak, who's aged out for the Interlake Lightning, Celine Wozni, who's aged out for the Winnipeg Avros, and then just current players like Shan Scott Cook, Delaney Darby, Brianne Windross, Isabelle Labossiere, Callie Laverly, like the list goes on and on. Team Manitoba was stacked, and it's great to see so much skill from the Indigenous side, players with Indigenous roots, also representing this league strongly in the MFHL as we get set here for period number 3, which will be brought to you by Terrico, as an Ice player in Hudson. This not looking good for her as she heads back to the bench holding what appears to be her wrist. She gets looked at right away. As puck inside the Avro zone now. Watch out for some sticky ice, as it's a big trend here at the start of each period. The puck likes to stick, and that's just a bad bounce off of a part of the boards. The Avros tried to play it up the wall, instead stays right down below their goal line. Trying to work it up still. And now skating it back to find some open room in her own end as Folster puts on the brakes and goes back down the far side as she sends that out cross ice. So it'll be intercepted by Walker. Walker D to Ota. As Ice got to be careful there. Lucky there was no too many girls called. Close to a delay of game now. This puck taken away by Freeze. Towards the net, that shot. Gets her on rebound. Wraparound denied by Walker. Great defense there from number 14. She very well could have just saved a goal. She might have just very well saved a goal there. This is played to Freeze. Her shot gloved down by Plett. Texiera to Symes. Symes fanned on that pass attempt. Lexington Green got to it and kept it down low for the Avros as they try to set up a cycle game. But unable to for the time being. Held in at the point. Hancher plays this to Lexington Green. Quickly back to Hancher. Her shot from the point. Wide of the net. Trying to find the target. To challenge Plett. Lavely sends this down deep. She goes off for a change as the Avros getting some fresh legs out. The ice transition out with ease because of it. As the Avros are getting their lines changed. That long shot turned aside and covered up by Almeida. Gets us a stop and play with 17:37 left on the third period clock. Okay, Cairns against Robin Clausen, won by Cairns on that face-off draw. Early taken away by the Avros, and now here's Seawalk. Has a player in Dinez with her. Seawalk stops up top of that right face-off circle, but the pass towards the point missed Leah Clausen. She has to regroup back in her own end again as Clausen finds Seawalk wide open. That time, that pass cut off at neutral ice. Allows for Clausen to get it and send it in deep, though. Down that far side, Seawalk, great job blocking that up with her skate. She tries to maneuver around Delacqui, but unable to in that near side corner in the ice zone. Delacqui back on it, plays it quickly below her goal line, D-to-D, and quick transition out. Starts for this ice team as they're now into the Avro zone again. Carvalho tries to backhand that towards the net, but shut down by Dinez. Cairns picks up this loose puck now. Up to the point to Walker. D-to-D, this goes to Texiera, who has that shot blocked by Dinez. Dinez tries to whack it out, but Texiera held her up well enough to allow for Nicholas to get this shot, or this puck in that shot off. So it's blocked up. Now Walker, her shot tipped wide of the net there from Carvalho behind the net. Nicholas trying to bank that off of Almeida. It just went off of the netting instead. Bank pass to Texiera, who blew a tire at the blue line. Maybe a chance for the Avros, but great job by Walker, who was really the last line of defense to make that play. Wasasinski gets her rebound off of the backboards. Denied there by Almeida. Took a tumble down below as well. A Seawalk still out there. What a shift this has been for number 21. Trying to slide past the ice D, but Ota shuts her down well. As that almost turned over. Leah Clausen jumping up into the play. Now this bad puck management from Fraser allows for the ice to get it back to the point. Symes, her shot denied there by Almeida. Looks like she tried to glove that, but made a left pad save instead. Folster gets this ahead to Fraser. Fraser trying to cut past number 4 in Symes, but Symes denies her with a good stick. As the Avros get fresh legs out, this pass into the skates of Wasasinski allowed for Freeze to be able to knock that away pretty easily from her. As Symes now picks this up and goes D-to-D. Back to Hudson, her pass up the middle, misses, intercepted by the Avros. Now that pass from Hancher, intercepted by Robbins. Robbins plays this up the boards, up to Jones. Has Chavlik heading to the net, covered well, so Jones decided to shoot that, so it went wide of the marker. It's taken away by the ice along far side wall in the Avros, and puck ends up out of play afterwards, which will get a stoppage here with 14:38 remaining. In this third period of action, the Avros, with, I'd say, they gotta be happy so far with this start to the period. Not as many dangerous chances as we've seen from the ice so far here tonight. But expect their attack to ramp up as this period goes along. The Avros gotta be searching for that equalizing goal here with a purpose in the next few minutes. Try to take advantage of the momentum you have right now. Or will it be the Ice who start to swing it back in their direction? Towards a more offensive zone. Time sustained as they try to go tic-tac-toe, but can't connect into the slot. That shot from Walker blocked on the way through. The Ice get it back. Cairns protects us down low, fends off Collins with a mean left arm there. Gets us down low to Chablik, but Chablik has it knocked off her stick by Hancher at the side of the net. Another bad bounce, but this time in the favor of the Avros. It's a stretch up. Lexington Green, she unloads. Walker, first block. Second block is from Plett. Another save from number 30. As a big applause there from the Winnipeg Ice side. This now taken away. And a huge save by Plett. Off a great shot by Folster. As Carvalho, she dances in her own end now through the neutral zone. Cuts into the Avros zone. She's down low, met by Beatty. Now as Kapustu swoops in to try to take this away. Fraser banks this off the boards and just gets this out. The Ice send it back in deep again off the backboards. This retrieved and recovered by Wozosensky, but she's pinned up along the boards. Now free up to the point to Symes. Low shot turned aside by Almeida. To give her team a bit of a breather. As for this Avro side, Kapusta out there to take the draw. Or no, that's Robin Clausen. Kapusta out there as a winger. Along with number 6 in Collins, defenseman for the Avros, up into the play. As Vivian Seawalk enters in as the last forward into the zone for the Avros. This taken away by the Ice as it's played across Marion Temple with strength, trying to head to the net, but knocked down by Leah Clausen. Clausen just a bit stronger on that one-on-one, but not strong enough to get it out. That a tip from Mariner. No, that's Nicholas who tried to get it through this time. She gets bumped pretty well in the slot area too. Seawalk had her pocket picked. This allows for the Ice to work it back to the point. D. That shot from Delacqui. It's up not getting through. Blocked up by Vivian Seawalk. So that bank pass gets past Seawalk now. D for the Ice. As Hudson's shot unable to make its way towards the goal. So it's deflected. Delacqui over to Hudson. That shot unable to get through. Blocked up by the stick of Collins. But her clearing attempt not good enough to get past Hudson. Ends up on the stick of Wozosensky. Now a heavy shot. Almeida searching for it. It's up on the stick of Adams, who gets it back down low to Wozosensky. That pass a bit too tight for Jones to handle. Wozosensky gets it back now. Goes across to Hudson. That shot. Rebound there. Scores! Well, how do you beat a great goaltender like Adriana Almeida? You get to the net, you hunt for pucks, you try to get deflections. She's able to stop the first shot. Not in the greatest position to stop the second shot. And the Winnipeg Ice able to capitalize on a glorious chance in front. So that goal brought to you by Terrico. It's Talia Jones who gives her team the insurance marker at this point in time. 37th shot of the game for the Ice, most recently 2 on that goal. Brought to you by Manitoba's most trusted producers in the agricultural industry for over 80 years, as Lexington Green fires this to the near side through the crease, but no one there as it was intended for Lavely. Now Lavely has this, dishes this off to Turner as that shot turned aside by Plett. No troubles there for number 30. It's her 14th save of the night. before we get to this offensive zone face-off draw for the Avros, it'll be Lavalley who gets kicked out of the face-off circle. Allows for Freeze to come in, takes that draw, wins a tip just wide of the net there. Off of that draw win, Turner unloaded a nice shot that got a tip on it and all did full play, just couldn't make its way to the back of the net. Avros couldn't get it to fall off the skate of Lavalley as Lavalley shields the puck from the defender before sending it in deep. So it's far side in the ice zone now. Nicholas battling with Freeze. Lavalley, nice job to block this clearing attempt up. Tries to will it to the slot, but that taken away by the ice. Lavalley takes it away just as fast. Turned aside by Plett off of a nice shot from Lavalley. Avros were searching for a rebound, but didn't get one there. An absolute battle right now for the Avros to maintain possession of this puck. The ice, that could very well be a penalty from Texiera, was holding the opposition, bear hugging her, but the refs letting them play. It's a short pass to Fraser, ends up to Leah Clausen. Her pass cut off, getting towards the ice net as the ice just send this down deep. Ends up right dead on, heading towards the crease to Almeida, so she was forced to play this near side. Leah Clausen will chip it off the boards. Intercepted by Symes, though, as she sent that in and got it to Jones, actually. Jones, the most recent goal scorer in this game, sent a shot on net that was turned aside by Almeida. With 8:47 remaining in this third period of action. Kapusta to take the draw against Jones. One barely by Kapusta, but just enough for the Avros to get possession. Turned over down below by Turner. She was trying to reverse it. Didn't see Robbins there. So Robbins just elected to keep that down low as well. As the Avros will send this into the neutral zone, into the skates of Symes, picked up by Fraser. She chipped that back down to the ice end. Onto the stick of Callie Adams. Has to circle back down low to allow this to go D to D. As the ice played this out, as Fraser picks it up, or Freeze, sorry, picks it up and passes it over to Turner. Turner back across to Collins. Collins through the middle, trying to get that over the stick of Ota, but sure-handed there was number 5 as Cairns makes her way down the near side. Around the net in the Avro zone. Saucer pass up to the point, just held in by Hudson. Impressive there from number 3. But her dumping attempt cut off right away by Lavalley. Sends up back in the neutral zone. Ice looking to transition back into the Avro zone. All Carvalho can do is send this in deep. Almeida out of her own net to play this. Played it into the skates of Cairns. But still the Avros able to get out. Green catches up to this. Delacqui to defender. Green shot turned aside by Plett. Green gets it back but can't cradle that puck to settle it down. Allowed for Chavlik to send this all the way back into the Avros end as Hatcher plays this into the neutral zone off the skates of Green. Back to Clausen as she skates up, now into the ice zone, trying to cut her way through Hudson. But Hudson, a great defensive play there from number 3. As this, maybe a break for Chablik, but the pass just a bit too far behind her. She would have had a step on Dinez. As the ice continued to be disrupted, Carvalho almost blocked up that pass there from Dinez and turned it into some offense. It's Carvalho, nice cutback move to protect this puck. She'll hold on to it for now. It's just past the red line, had no options, so just decides to send it in and go off for a change. Nicholas in the corner gets it up to Texiera. That shot tipped and into the glove of Almeida. That time the tip doesn't fool number 35. In fact, she looked like she was ready for that one. It's when you're as good as she is, the game just slows down for you. I knew that was the case for players. Sometimes you forget that's the case for goaltenders too. It's making it look really easy. This face-off draw won by the Avros. Turner Cuts through 2 ice players after taking it around her own net. Can't cut through a third, and Wozni, though, as Wozni takes it the other way. Wasilewski. Wasilewski fended off by Beatty well into the corner. Before it got at her there. Turner will get back on it. Now just turns it up ice, which eventually turns into a turnover to Walker. Walker walks this right back to the Avros zone to Wasilewski. Wasilewski tries to make a move past Collins, but Collins shut down number 8 well. Callie Adams now in the board battles with Wasilewski as that shot from number 8. I'm not sure if it was a shot, maybe a pass attempt. Either way, ends up into the glove of Adriana Almeida. We have 5 minutes, 41 seconds left on the clock. This third period of action brought to you by Terrico. The ice with the 2-goal cushion right now. Talia Jones, the most recent goal scorer. She was just at the side of the net. Couldn't get anything on net, though. Symes at the point. Tries to hold her ground, but Lavallee and Fraser made that rather difficult. It's sent right back in by Symes and right back out by the Avros. Will this be all the way down for an ice? And it will be, as Plett just lets that go. I'd say in this period so far, the Avros, of course, with their most shots in a single period, they've done a better job at trying to get more traffic towards the net, more bodies in the slot and around that area. But the ice, when there have been rebounds, and they have gotten a bit lucky. The Avros had a bit more puck luck themselves. Maybe they'd be able to get some of their deflections to fall. But overall, the ice doing a really good job of helping out their goaltender tonight. Done a really good job of limiting the shots overall this game. Only 17 for the Avros in this contest, where it's 39 for the Winnipeg Ice. And 3 goals on those 39 shots. As Hansher will play this to a wide open Fraser. As Fraser quickly stick handles, held onto the puck, but didn't do much as Hudson was still able to block it. So this ends up back into the neutral zone as Turner pinned up along the boards. Fraser sends it in deep and goes off for a change. So it'll be to Carvalho. Carvalho quickly up to Cairns. It's a 2-on-3 for the ice right now. So they try to get all their bodies in. Their D and Carvalho joining the play now. The Avros settling in to try to defend here. With 3 minutes, 36 seconds remaining. It's a wide open Walker who can't let that go. Fanned on it. Ends up to the slot for Carvalho, but a nice block by the Avros, not allowing that to get towards the net. Into the skates. And back down low. Avros team able to get it out. Line change for the ice. We'll see if the Avros can take advantage of this now. As Folster makes a move past Texiera. And now that's taken down hard along the boards by Wasilewski. No call from the referee again. So just letting these two teams play here. Oh, what a recovery by Temple. Almost. It's an offside called, but if you look back, MFHL fans, she actually was able to almost get that pass over to Wasilewski, who was closest to the near boards. The pass went through the skates of Temple, and she almost settled it down with one stick. Impressive stick work here tonight from number 11, a player that I'm sure Eugene Kaminsky and his staff is extremely excited about. So this ends up back into the neutral zone, back into the Avro zone. It's off the boards this goes, cut off by Wasilewski. Temple, speaking of her, back on it. Low shot, turned aside by the glove of Almeida. As for an Avros team, they are on the younger side of things compared to last year, where it was one of their most experienced teams in years. A really good mix of the vets and second-year players, rookies last year for the Avros. Year which I'm sure if you were to ask them, they felt it was theirs. Just couldn't finish the job against Eastman. They were down 2-0 in that best-of-5 finals series. As physical play in front, Collins defending her goaltender in Almeida. Didn't like the extracurriculars from Adams afterwards. And hey, look, anytime you step into the paint, no matter what level it is, whether it's men's or women's, expect to pay the price going there. That may be a reminder for Callie Adams, who had some time in this league a bit last year. Adams off the draw, controlling this puck like a string on her stick. It will finally be off as the Avros just able to get it out. Will be sent right back into their zone as Hancher pressured, while there by Robbins. Tries sending it towards the slot for Adams. She was covered well there by an Avro, as Clausen has this knocked off her stick by Jones, as Jones and Robbins head off for a change. This pass cross ice for Vivian Seawalk. A Seawalk, a nice pass up to Robin Clausen. Clausen, her shot turned aside by Plett. So we got a face-off coming up inside the ice zone with 1:31 remaining. This game's still in reach for the Avros, but they're going to need that second marker quick. We'll get to, I guess, what I was talking about the Avros at the end of this game, about just this year's roster in the post-game show. Is I feel like if I start to get more into their backstory here, may miss a great opportunity to call a potential goal as the Avros try to get this through. That blocked up in the slot by the skate of Kay Cairns. Cairns trying to shovel this out, but on her strongly was Freeze. Good support from Carvalho to be able to help Cairns get that out. She knocked it off the stick of Beatty. As Freeze trying to cut to the middle, but shut down once again. Been a familiar sight all night long by Winnipeg Ice. It was Wazasensky this time around. Carvalho just able to chip it out. Chablik calling for it. Gets it from Wazasensky. Chablik tries to dangle past Lavalley, but unable to. With 34 seconds left, we'll see if Van Aglen calls her goaltender to the bench. I don't think she'll be able to, as the Ice able to get right back down to the Avro zone on the near boards. As Wazasensky rubbed out there. Nicholas takes this away. Short pass to Wazasensky. Turned aside by the blocker on that shot by Almeida. As 13 seconds remain. The Ice, they may give up possession one last time, as it is to Collins. Turned over down low, but the Ice right back on it. And just like they have all game long, winning on most of their forecheck battles, doing the little things right, and that all results in a 3-1 victory for the Winnipeg Ice tonight to give themselves a 3-1 win over their crosstown rivals in the Winnipeg Avros. Gina Plett, her first win of the season. It's 3 different goal scorers tonight for the Winnipeg Ice. 2 rookies to open the scoring. Callie Adams, Marin Temple with the second goal, and then a returnee in Jones scoring the third goal, and the goal to give this Ice team the cushion tonight. A night where they had 41 shots to the Avros 18. A pretty clean game, too. We only saw penalties happen throughout the first period of action. But we still saw chippy play. We saw hard play throughout this one. Hard compete from both teams. And yeah, I guess we'll go right into the Avros. You know, for a team that made the finals last year, a team that, you know, heading into this year, lost some great leaders, some great talent. and a move that I don't think any of us really saw coming who follow the MFHL. But Rio Pierre, a record breaker last year, she was going to head into her third season with the Avros this year in her final one. She was going into grade 12, but elected to go over to play for Kingston in the U22 Ontario Women's Hockey League. So, you know, some holes to be filled this year on an Avros team, which we saw tonight. Like, they ought to be really excited about Vivian Seawalk, Brea Kapusta, the young talent this team has, even though Brea Kapusta is a grade 12 player. It's her first year in this league. But the Avros still got a lot to look forward to. It's just maybe a bit more of a struggle competing against the Winnipeg Ice this year, or the start of the year compared to others. But expect for this Avros team to get better and better as the season goes along. As for the Winnipeg Ice, hey, there is advertised, ladies and gentlemen, and anyone else who may be tuning into this game tonight or who did tune into it. Just like this team hasn't played many games heading into this season. I'd say the Avros have played way more than them. But at some points, it looked like this Ice team was already in mid-season form. I know there is still a lot that this group is going to work on to fine-tune their game as the year goes along, but the quickness in their passing, their transition game, their forecheck, their cycle, skill plays with the sticks as we saw with the deflections, helping out their goaltender really well and not spending much time in their own end, in large part because of their quickness and, you know, their advantage in winning on puck battles. And when they needed her to be big time, Gina Plett was big time. The only goal she let in was the first of the game. She made 17 consecutive saves afterwards. Sure, at this point she would have liked to have that first goal back, but yeah, this Ice team, we have in our preseason predictions, or our preview show predictions that we released last week for this year, we have this team going to the finals. You know, a lot could change, but they are as advertised heading into this year. Full skill set on display tonight. Great to see the depth and scoring from them in a team that only lost 3 players heading into this season and is, I think, potentially primed for another deep run in the playoffs once again this year. But a lot of time will have to pass before we get to that. I'm sure playoffs will be here before we know it. But week 1 is officially in the books. This game here tonight, we're going to be ending off this broadcast soon, our coverage here from the Hockey for All Center. But before we do that, we're going to hand out players of the game. Starting off with the losing side in the Winnipeg Avros. It'll be brought to you by Movement Fitness and Performance tonight, a local independently owned Winnipeg gym. Be sure to check them out at 1111 Winnipeg Avenue, building number 3. They've been going 5 years strong as a company. Be sure to support them today. If you're looking for a new gym, that might be the gym for you. But as for the Winnipeg Avros, I think their player of the game tonight, we're going to give it to Vivian Seawalk. Not only is she able to score a goal, and the only goal for the Winnipeg Avros, but thought she had some really outstanding shifts. Looked like a one-girl wrecking crew on in a lot of instances tonight, and just showcased her ability to handle that puck really well. She's a really strong forechecker, has a really good active stick that forced great turnovers tonight, along with that tenacity on the forecheck, and just a fun player to watch. Had a nifty little backhand that made its way past Plett to be the only shot to beat her in this one in that first period of action. Movement Fitness and Performance, the sponsor for the losing side of the player of the game. For the Winnipeg Ice, their player of the game tonight, I'm going to go a bit off the board. I don't know if she scored any points or not, any assists, as the Ice's player of the game brought to you by Elite Prospects, but I do know she was having herself a game in terms of just being so sound on rush defense, making a lot of great plays in her own end, blocking shots, taking pucks away, and generating offensive chances in the offensive zone for the Ice. And for me, player of the game for Winnipeg for this Winnipeg Ice side. Brought to you by Elite Prospects. Will be Tegan Walker, number 14. She was really steady on the back end, made a lot of great plays, saved a goal even, a wraparound chance for the Avros late in that third period. Walker right there to get to that post first and deny that. She had similar plays to that all night long. Unsung hero maybe on the back end tonight for this Winnipeg Ice team, and a big reason why they're able to have so much success in the D zone. Large in part to her efforts, and of course, the team around her. But yeah, I thought she really stood out tonight, and she's able to earn player of the game for the Winnipeg Ice. Brought to you by Elite Prospects, the largest hockey player database, and the most informative hockey database for players online today. Be sure to check them out at EliteProspects.com. Thank you to Elite Prospects, as well as Terrico, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Movement Fitness and Performance, as well as Goaltenders for sponsoring another edition of MFHL Game Day. As for us, the next time we'll be back is this Saturday for the Avros' second home game. Coming up in the late afternoon at 4:15 p.m. will be the puck drop at Seven Oaks Arena as they welcome in the Pembina Valley Hawks. But as for us, on this Tuesday night, as we wrapped up week 1 here from the Hockey for All Center, it's myself, Graham the G-Show Forsyth, as well as the rest of our G-Show Productions crew, thanking you for tuning in. Winnipeg Ice fans, Winnipeg Avros fans, MFHL fans, and anyone else. Once again, proud to, of course, do another game, as we have been always since being a broadcast company on Treaty 1 territory. Again, on this game, in honor and on a date, which is National Truth and Reconciliation Day. But for us, Graham the G-Show Forsyth and our G-Show Productions crew, we're signing off. The Winnipeg Ice open up with a 3-1 win to open up their 2025-2026 campaign strong. And the first of many MFHL game days featuring them this season. So long, everybody. Take care. Thanks for watching. Nice win, 3-1 over their crosstown rivals in the Winnipeg Avros. Good night.